The Lowry was open to the public early in 2000, early on in the year, but it was officially opened by the Queen on the 12th of October 2000. And I knew about this official opening, and I thought, I'll go down to see this, to see the Queen, open the Lowry, and I took some photographs of I waited outside. I got a good position, so I took a photograph of the Queen and Felicity Goody going into the Lowry. I took two going into the Lowry, and first one, the Queen is looking directly at me. Very nice photograph. And the second one is Felicity Goody looking at me, you know, so the two of them are very nice. So I thought, I'll send these to Felicity Goody, saying it's been there and how nice it was. So I sent them, and then a fortnight later I received a very nice letter of thanks from Felicity Goody. When a ship came into port in Manchester, in those days, it was before containerisation, so the ships had to be unloaded and loaded by the cranes in Manchester, by the cranes, large cranes. In Montreal, they had the winches, you know, the deck winches. There was steam. This was in steamships when I sailed on. I didn't sail on diesel, I was always on the steamships. So I got the tail end of the steamship era, really. So in Montreal, they used to use the steam cargo winches, the deck winches for unloading. They'd have one wire rope going to the dockside over a pulley, then another rope lifting, and then the other one would pull. See, and but in Salford Docks, they were unloaded and loaded by the crane. So consequently, it was slower than now. It's containerisation. You probably lift the containers off in a day and put new ones on a day and ships out again. But in those days, it used to take a week to unload and a week to load. So we were in port for a fortnight. They had to have on board ship every night in dock a mate and an engineer for insurance purposes in case there were any problems. So I always volunteered for this because I live local, you see, because you worked a day and a night, you worked a day on the ship doing maintenance, you see, and then you stayed on board for the night, then you had the next day and night off. But you were allowed to have time off during that period. What we used to do, the mate and engineer, we used to wait for there was a chap who used to come round with the book of all the ships in port, and everyone had to go up the gangplank on every ship in port and get the mate and the engineer to sign that they were on board, you see. Once he'd been, this chap with his book could then go ashore for a meal or go to a pub, and I used to go in the Clewes, a pub at Salford, and it was always a very entertaining club, bit of nightlife, you know, and the women of the night always haunted that place as well, and all that for the seamen, you know, and that from different shipping companies. So it was one of those sort of places, but nice enough, had its own sort of character. And there's a pianist there, and I've been trying to think of her name, because she was a very nice, educated woman, actually, but she used to play the piano in the Clewes. Very good pianist as well, and we'd go into a bit of classical music as well. And I asked about her once, then I started to have a chat with her occasionally. I'd have and apparently she used to be a doctor. She used to be a GP, and she became alcoholic herself. She got just struck off, apparently, so the story goes. You know, I'd like to know a bit more about her. And so she used to play the piano in the in the Clewes. A very nice person, you know. My nights in port were mainly sort of, I didn't spend too long there. Just had a couple of pints and something to eat, and then go back to the ship. Yeah.